Did you miss me? Welcome back, folks, to a very special episode of Everything is Going to Zero. 2022 Summer, Cruel Summer Edition. And folks, my name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments, and it's been a long time since we've had a whiteboard video. I try to do these once a month, but it's literally like an entire day almost to plan what the hell I even want to talk about. And these tend to be like almost hour-long videos, and there's a lot of cords, lav mics, and things you don't quite see. And I also use whiteboard for other things in the meantime. So, video starts, 37 seconds in. We have the 1980s, pink visor, serious time. Folks, on today's topic of Everything Goes to Zero, this is a fun video. This is an insight into Rudy's brain. We're going to strip out everything you see online. We're going to strip out all the attitude, the emotion, the frustration, in the entire market's opinion of essentially this line in the sand. Right here, folks. Let's get a nice purple marker. The line in the sand. Right here, folks. So essentially, everything this way versus everything that way. So everything over here goes down. Everything over here goes up. The magical line in the sand known as 2021. So to give everybody a little history lesson, essentially, in 2020, when the end of the world, quarantine, tangerine, can't clean a black lotus with Sandy wipes and all that stuff, magic's going to zero. Essentially, all the products that came out during this timetable. Let's see, we got the old Throne of Eldraine, which was technically 2019. We got Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, Ikoria, Core 21. At the end of the year in Q1, we had Kaldheim. You got Zendikar over there. You got some Jumpstart. You got some Double Masters. Holy potatoes. And of course, any secret lair along there, doesn't matter. You know, a blind Rudy and an ex-girlfriend Rudy could have literally just taken a ball of tacos, chucked against the wall, let the salsa splatter, and you would have just made money because everything in that area just went up. Everybody was happy. Positivity was pretty high, actually, for the doomsday attitude. Negativity towards content creators, LGSs around the country, well, that we're able to open and do curbside pickup, or we bring your box of cards in a certified paper bag with a sticker saying safety protocol. I don't know. People lost their damn mind. Everything in that era just made people money. And the attitude of people reflected that. Now, when we hit into 2021, what we thought was going to be a continuation of Zendikar, Kaldheim, Strixhaven, Adventures Forgotten Realm, Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow. Oh, wait. Modern Horizons 2. Hey, we got one smiley face in there. That's a smiley face. And here, we'll give him a hat, too. There's MH2 Man. We're going to call him MH2 Man. All right? So MH2 Man right here. And he's super happy. I don't know why his arms look like giant floppy. All right. So besides MH2 Man in the middle, everything in 2021, coming off the afterglow of 2020, everybody just kept buying into everything. Now, here's the results. Now, MH2 Man marches boldly into 2022. And what happens? Well, folks, let's see here. Let's start. Kaldheim, tanked. Let's see, what was after Kaldheim? Strixhaven, tanked. What happened with Strixhaven? MH2 Man, he's happy. He jumped out of, he survived. He was a good jumper. Let's see here. I guess we'll go right to Midnight Hunt, tanked. Crimson Vow, tanked. Am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a set. Did I say Adventures Forgotten Realm? So Kaldheim, Strixhaven, Adventures Forgotten Realm, Midnight, Crimson. So essentially, as you guys can see, everything over here went straight up. And the funny thing is, even in 2022, with MH2 Man jumping to now, all of these items are holding strong. They are actually holding into the future. And everything over here is actually still like this. So you've got this weird, really weird divergence going on. Super weird, everybody. And I guess that brings us to what do we talk about? What is MH2 Man going to do in 20... Now, let's jump to 2022. 2022. All right, we started 2022. How did we start the year, folks? How did we start the year? Crimson Vow was crap, right? You're right. Kamigawa! Boom! Okay. Rudy's preaching 2022, year of magic. Kamigawa comes out of the gate. We got a green arrow. We got the green arrow. The nice, big, hard, non-flaccid green arrow of happiness, folks. Then, Streets of Copacabana. We got some gold gilded cards. A little mafia-themed stuff. Look kind of fun, right? Copacabana. Barry Manilow gave us his blessings. 2 ships sailing through the night. Copacabana. And guess what? We return to the darkness of 2021. Starts to fall apart. Baldur's Gate comes out. Oh my God, Commander Legends 2! We're all pumped. Everybody's happy. Wizards. Yes, you in the back. Yeah, so hi, I work at WotC, and although we're using the Commander Legends name, we're going to kind of fuck you, and we're going to kind of just punch you across the face, and I hope you enjoy it, and you get a gift bag on the way out. And oh, and if you're a store, I'll make sure distributors completely wreck your life if you don't take the Commander Legends 2. And then, if you don't do that, well, guess what? Guess what happens? All right, folks, and then we have Double Masters. Do I even have a big enough, hard enough? You know what? We're going to have to make a very special arrow. We're going to have to make a very special arrow. So Double Masters 2 comes out. Fireworks go off. Fireworks go off. MH2 man loses his hat. Craziest thing I've seen in the last 2 years. MH2 comes out. That's the Jeff Bezos Blue Origin rocket, by the way. A lot of you out there are just perverts, and like I said, you guys are just perverts, and you see things that aren't there. This is just a rocket ship, and of course, with all rocket ships, they shoot flame. They shoot flames out the back. You got a little, some little flames and little hairiness, but you guys are just perverts out there. That's just a rocket ship, Blue Origin, SpaceX. You guys are just perverts. Seriously, this is serious. I'm wearing the pink visor. I can't believe you guys smirk on your face. This is a serious video. Okay, so Double Masters comes out. Just straight to the moon. MH2 man can't even find it. Double Masters is swinging around Mars. It is truly the only thing that has gone to the moon in the last 2 years. So that's where we are. Now, coming off the backs of all of this, everybody here was riding the wave of happiness. I love Rudy. I love my LGS. Everybody goes up in value. I love everything positivity. Uh-oh, what's this? I hate Rudy. I hate my LGS. Everything goes down. Wow! I have big feet. You know what they say about big feet? I got big hands. Come on, man. So, that's some good artwork today. Somebody needs to turn that into a t-shirt. I'm kind of proud of this artwork. So, this leads us. Where do we go from here? People went to the moon. They loved everything, pre-ordered everything. Pokemon to the moon, Magic to the moon, Fab to the moon, MetaZoo to the moon, Yu-Gi-Oh to the moon. Everything to the moon, right? Then, everything to the dumpster. We're literally using WeWork, Airbnbs to rent each other's dumpsters. And we're taking turns in the dumpster. And I prefer it if you don't clean the dumpster in between. That's what we're doing. And then, 2022 is just all over the place. So we started off where everything was easy, just went straight up. Everything went straight down. We knew everything was bad. And now we've got this Kamigawa up, Streets down, the giant, Blue Origins rocket up. So what? We don't know. So in conclusion, if you look past Rudy's high-end Leonardo da Vinci artwork, it leaves us with the following. We're going to go back to the purple marker. It leaves us with the following. Everything was good, everything is bad, and now we're this. This is where we're at. So the question remains, what does that mean? Well, let's look at the facts. Let's look at where the market is right now, and let's kind of figure out what we're doing right now, okay? All right, so part 2 in this video. Where do we go from here? So let's look at what we're doing, okay? The market, let's think about where everybody's at. Let's think about the state of everything. Let's look at a macro and a micro kind of perspective. Let's merge it all together, smush it together, and let's see how it all feels together. Let's all do this together, okay? We knew everybody was buying everything, but we also knew everybody was only buying everything to flip it because everybody wanted free tendies. I mean, I looked in the data, even my own patrons, my own business, everything. Probably a third, 30 to 40% of all my orders were like first-time buyers, long-term patrons that never bought but just started buying because they could flip it. People started buying Magic 2020 era product, not because they wanted it, but because they could flip it and make quick tendies in an era where the economy and the world shut down and we were all going to die anyways in the end of the world. Then, Flesh and Blood and Metazoo, same thing. A lot of people didn't even want it. They never even played Flesh and Blood. They only bought it because they saw quick tendies, they flipped it. And of course, some people said, well, if Rudy's going to shill it, I'm going to buy it. Because you know what? If he gets behind it, if I lose my money, well, I'll blame him. If I make money, I just won't say anything. So we had people buying product that didn't want the product. And that led to a lot of extreme, overly priced on the upside, and a lot of products underly priced on the downside. A lot of market distortions. So, 2021, when everything unraveled and money machines stopped going burr, we have all these products. There's not much to talk about over here. We know what happened. All of those products are surviving. MH2 Man, Blue Origin, Giant Penis Rocket with Jeff Bezos. All of this stuff is still, if you buy Theros, Thornville Drain, War of the Spark, Ikoria, M21, Jumpstart, just buy anything. Anything from 2020, you're fine. There's nothing to talk about in this video. No, I don't have any of those products for sale, but I'm telling you, if you own some of those, or if you can find them, or if somebody's mispricing it, that's probably going to be the highest skewed probability of long-term gains. That's kind of what it is. And again, I'm a guy wearing an 80s pink visor. I'm in a basement. I have no pants on. You should really seek a licensed advisor. Make sure you're out of debt. Always buy into mutual funds, 401ks, and actually talk to someone who knows what they're doing. Not a guy who's a cat with an 80s visor who's living with his parents' basement. And literally, I have a cat in the backyard who's looking at me right now, licking my foot, which is creepy. So, the conversation is around this. In 2021, this is the conversation. What do we do with the Call Time, the Strixhaven, the Adventure Forgotten Realm, the Midnight Hunt, the Crimson Vow, and now moving into the Baldur's Gate? I will no longer acknowledge Baldur's Gate as Commander Legends 2. It is just Baldur's Gate. Wizards fucked us on the name to get us to buy it. Congratulations, Wizards. You win that one. So these 6 product lines is what the rest of this video is going to be centered around. And that, ladies and gentlemen, this 6, the evil 6, I don't know, evil 666, whatever, maybe the next 6 things will be just, these 6 product lines is where I want to focus. There's nothing to talk about over here. There's nothing to talk about. Rudy, should I buy Throneville Drain? I found a store selling throne boxes for $99. Yes, you should buy Throneville Drain. I'm surprised that shit's not $200-$300 a box. Even before that, what do you have? War of the Spark? Guilds of Ravnica Allegiance, Dominaria? If you can find any of that stuff cheap, you should always buy it. Are you kidding me? It's like a golden era that we can all look back on. But this is what we need to talk about today. So let's start at the beginning, Kaldheim. Wizards states Kaldheim is the fastest, best-selling Q1 product line of all time for Magic the Gathering. Whenever Wizards makes comments on anything, it doesn't mean shit. You shouldn't even look at it. You shouldn't care about it. It doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't take any of that information. You should take it with a grain of salt and a free mild packet of Taco Bell sauce. It doesn't mean anything. But Kaldheim was a good set. The overall feedback from everybody liked Kaldheim. I sold a lot of it. A lot of people were buying, but keep in mind, a lot of people were buying the draft boxes because they got Afterglow coming out in 2020. By the time we hit Strixhaven, same thing. Kaldheim started to soften, but Strixhaven, again, was supposed to be this Harry Potter, guilds and themes and wizardry stuff. Strixhaven was supposed to be the big set of the year. It did good. But the collapse of Mystical Archives to 1, 2, 3 cents a card, the high quantity of variants, a lot of things started to show its colors. A lot of weakness started to peek through. We started to see that downturn as we left Strixhaven. And we went into Adventures Forgotten Realm. That was supposed to be the big one of the year, the D&D thing we've all been waiting for. And unfortunately, it started off great, amazing, hot. And man, it fell faster than Rudy's credit score. And she left quicker than Rudy's ex-girlfriend in high school. I mean, she just ran so quick. It was like a cartoon character with a trail of dust. And D&D accelerated the downturn. Now, as we start getting to the end of the year, stock markets, crypto, topped out. And by May of 2021, as we went past that into the summer of 2021, everything started to erode. Crypto started to tank. Bitcoin went from a high of 69,000, giggity, to about 50, then 40,000, 38, back to 40, 42,000. All crypto started to decline. Stock market peaked October, November 2021, and here we are, almost July of 2022. And 8 months later, the stock market has still been in a bear market negative trend. So we are 8 months in of crypto dropping, collectibles dropping, stock market dropping, even real estate looking a little toppy there. Real estate prices, even in Florida, not going down, but at least they stopped going up. At least they're sideways now. That's nice to see. So there's been no break of this trend, okay? And then now if you see, the line accelerates to the downside. And of course, let's finish. Midnight Hunt comes out, perceived pretty decently at first, but starts dropping really fast. Crimson Vow comes out, doesn't stand a chance. Just drops immediately. Literally the day Crimson Vow came out, straight down. Like a brick sinking to the bottom. I'm talking Rudy's hairstyle, Rudy's ex, Rudy's state of mind. Completely loses it. So then we go into 2022. Rudy's all excited. Year of Magic. Wizards knows what they're doing. They're coming back hard. We had rumors over here about serialized cards and Secret Lair. Kamigawa comes out, introduces the new Neon Ink Hyper Rare, Uber Rare, gets the market excited, and what a surprise! Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, cyberpunk craziness, and guess what? The market loves it! And of course, Wizards sprinkles in Hyper Rare, Uber Rare, Neon Ink cards. Market loves it again! What a surprise! If you make something rare and special, and you make it tough to get, the market gets excited, and people buy it, in positivity, in chase, in box crackers, return, and they come out of the woodwork. Then Streets of Copacabana comes out. Streets is a weird one. People had high expectations coming off Kamigawa, comes out a little weak, but not only does Streets come out and starts drifting lower, the downturn in the economy picks up speed. The downturn starts to accelerate. So the little weakness that we started to see from Streets gets sucked straight down, and that thing got sucked harder than my high school girlfriend. This thing got sucked into the abyss, and Streets got nuked. And Streets is one of those Copacabana sets. I had the conversation with Barry Manilow, and I can confirm Streets was one of the sets where it's actually, I really like it. I never even got around to doing a box opening because I ran out of the collector boxes. I'm finally doing some deals to get some collector boxes of Streets so I can actually do some box openings and things in the future. But Streets unfairly got sucked down. It got lured in because things accelerated on the downturn. Another crypto sell-off. The stock market really sold off. Inflation went out of control. Gas prices are through the roof. The only thing at the moon right now is ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, BHP, probably what? Hess, Marathon, Oxy. Those are the companies at the moon right now. The market and everything else went straight into the abyss. So that leaves us to Boulder's Gate. Boulder's Gate, icing on the cake. Weak market of everything, and then Boulder's Gate comes out and fucking annihilates stores. Annihilates stores. I mean, Boulder's Gate has got to be the biggest financial hit to stores in the card world I've seen probably since either Hour of Devastation or Iconic Masters. It's been about 5-6 years. It's been a long time, folks. It's been a long time. 2017-ish, maybe, 2018-ish. Boulder's Gate has done some serious collateral damage. And the worst part about it is distributors, they play it off like there's no problem. Wizards acts like it's a huge success. And it just pisses me off. It's such a fuck you to stores and people and customers. The patrons I sold it to, the distributors that sold it to me, the distributors who bought it from Wizards. It's just such a dirty thing how they won't even acknowledge the fucking problem, man. Anyways, just, sorry. Part 3. Now that I don't want to focus on Boulder's Gate too much in part 3 here, but I just want to state that it is what it is. There is benefit to the Boulder's Gate thing. It's not a complete Dragon's Maze 2.0 for this generation. I don't buy into that. But the positive thing about it is Wizards' original plan was probably similar to Commander Legends 1, which is they did the release. There was the original collector box release. And then they probably planned on doing a reprint of Commander Legends Draft and Set, 3-4 months after release, which is still many months away. And they probably expected to do multiple reprints over the next 12 to 24 months, similar to Jumpstart and Commander Legends 1. And the fact that the market deteriorated, I can essentially assure you there's going to be no reprint for the next 12 to 18 months. There will not be 4 to 5 reprints of Commander Legends 2, also known as Fuck You Boulder's Gate. And what irritates me about it is the draft and set boxes are doing just fine. In fact, if you can buy them in the 80s with shipping and tax out the door, hell, even probably 90, I know most stores are still like 90, 95 to 100, but of course plus tax, so it's like 105, 110 out the door. If you can get these things in the 80s or 90s, and you can wait, the set and draft still have a normal price point like a regular draft box, and I think it's going to be okay. I really do. The collector box is the most effed up situation because Wizards forced the price point higher. They shouldn't have increased the price 20 to 30% because they just saw what happened to the first Commander Legends boxes. That is what's really distorted the market. That's where the core of all the damage and the distortion came from. That's enough of that. But long term, I am telling you, it will stabilize. It will do well. It'll flush through the system. But the problem is everything is accelerated because this downward vacuum right now. If you look at everything right here in 2022 with the crash of the stock market, the crypto, we have this downward sucking vacuum of the Fed raising interest rates, trying to defeat inflation, and it's sucking all asset prices down. So right now, we have an accelerated, strong pulling down of the rubber band theory. I mean, it's pulling, but that will pass. Like I said, you see how I kind of put this cone here? As we march to the end of this year, we will escape the sucking pattern of inflation and rising rates. We will get out of it. I just don't know if we're going to get out of it in August, in July, August, September, October, November, December. I don't know when we're going to be able to get out of this vacuum, but we will get out of it. And that leads it to the important part of the video. We're not going to talk about penis rockets very much. There's no point. Everybody knows it's straight up. It's not going to crash because if it ever comes down, I'll buy more. Every store out there will buy more. Hell, you can just open the damn packs. There's no point in even talking about that. Look what happened to the first one. If it even does the same thing as the first Double Masters, this time it's got textured cards and chase cards, and the market's starving for good cards after the Baldur's Gate vacuum into your X. I mean, we're not going to talk about Double Masters. It's just a shoe-in, easy, boring thing. Even if it drops 10%, gains 10%, by the time we hit out here, 2024, anyone who bought anything around here, even if you paid $4.50 a box, you're still going to do fine. So anyways, I want to talk about now this vacuum of all the products. This is kind of the core component of this video now. Now that we've laid it all out, Rudy's done his fancy Da Vinci artwork. Most people thumbs off. They're complaining on their social media. They're in their, I don't know, private Facebook, Reddit, Backpage, Silk Road, whatever thing you guys use. I have never seen such a decline in reduction, in positivity of every product. Ask anybody. Hey, how do you feel about Adventures Forgotten Realm? How do you feel about Strixhaven? How do you feel about Midnight Hunt? Oh, God. Oh, my store fire sold all that stuff. And see, that helped accelerate that vacuum. Because Baldur's Gate, Crimson, Midnight, Streets, everybody needs capital. All these stores, everybody in the industry is begging for capital. So not only do we have the vacuum from inflation, the Fed, and interest rates going up, but we have a panic and a credit cash crunch across the board of all the thousands of LGSs that need to raise money to pay for this stuff and stay in business. So you have a perfect storm of products you really can't sell, cash that you need to raise, and all the products you did buy, you can't make money. Then you got overhead, payroll, employees, utilities, insurance, pilfering, theft from your employees, benefits, basic things, days off, but you're just getting nuked. Which is why, like I told you guys in recent videos, we will see over the next couple months, there will be stores that fail. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be extreme like 2017, but I would like to, where that was like 20, 30, 40% of stores. I think we'll see a good maybe 20%, maybe 15, 20%. I think we see a good quarter to fifth, maybe fifth to quarter of all LGSs are going to just drop magic CCGs or go out of business completely. Some will go out of business with a blaze of glory and steal a bunch of customers' money, file bankruptcy, and there's nothing anyone can do. Happens every time in every business cycle. And again, folks, I know this is something you don't want to hear, but it's important for companies to go bankrupt. It's important for businesses to fail. It's important for some products to fail and go down. It's important for the system to be flushed sometimes. Otherwise, if you bail everything out and everything is just perfect, an MH2 man lives to be 1,000 years old, penis rockets never always go to the moon and back without running into any issues or lubrication. The problem is then you create what I like to call zombie companies, which are shells of a company, which are dead companies on the inside that never make money, that draw on lines of credit and just exist for just pretty much paying employees and never making any money, and just exists with the open sign, but bleeding money every month and borrowing and racking up leverage till one day it implodes. We don't want zombie companies. It is important to vacuum out businesses and reset the business cycle. It is one of the things that I don't like, but it's one of the things that's part of the capitalistic business cycle. And it's important to flush that system out. I believe we are in the process, probably halfway through this vacuum at least, probably maybe even 3/4 of the way through, of flushing the system out right now. So, last part of this video. Where does that leave us? What do we do? Is there any opportunity? Well, I can tell you this is where the market is. The 3,000 LGS of the United States, I essentially don't think any of them are hoarding any form of inventory, investing in inventory. Every single thing is being dumped as a toxic asset. The collectible world essentially looks at every one of these items in the last 15 months as a toxic mortgage-backed security, a subprime mortgage backed by a stripper in the Big Short movie, or the dishwasher at Rudy's local, Taco Bell, and that guy's got 20 houses he's flipping with no money down and balloon mortgages, and his credit score is 69. That's literally what people are acting like. I'm telling you all right now. The Strixhaven, the Adventure's Forgotten Realm draft, all this stuff is out of print. By the way, where the kind of the right ball is on MH2 Man, that's the line to the left of the balls is out of print, and to the right of the balls is still in print. Crimson and Midnight Hunt on the right side of the balls of MH2 Man, these sets are still in print. Everything over here is still in print for draft and set, not collector. Everything to the left of the balls is out of print. So I want to focus now on the Strixhaven MH2 draft. Not MH2 draft, I'm sorry. AFR, Adventures Forgotten Realm. I personally believe Strixhaven and Adventures Forgotten Realm draft boxes are kind of a weird sweet spot, because they're right towards the beginning of the downfall that people had to flush out as they moved later on into the downfall. And these are out of print already. So we know it's done. There was last call months ago, it's done. What's out there is out there. And, what's interesting is, get this, Adventures Forgotten Realm boxes, the draft boxes, are already $100 plus tax. They've moved up from the 80s. $100 plus tax. So they're almost $110 with tax and shipping out the door on eBay and TCG Player. But what the kicker is, the collector boxes remain stable at the $150, $160, including shipping plus tax. So maybe $160, $170 out the door. So collector boxes are still kind of negative to flat from release. But draft boxes of Adventures Forgotten Realm have actually been drying up and deteriorating very quickly. I've been tracking the draft boxes of Strixhaven and Adventures Forgotten Realm for the last couple months, and the supply is the lowest I've seen for a product that just went out of print. Like, the amount of boxes for sale of the Adventures Forgotten Realm draft is equivalent to a set that's already been out of print for almost 2 years. It's fucking weird. And that reminds me of how negative and how nobody believes. All right, folks. So the last part of this video, this is it, folks. Home stretch. So that's what really gets my attention, is that Adventures Forgotten Realm is the supply is dwindling. And one distributor has a bunch of it left. And I've been in negotiation to buy it. Because I want a batch of it. I want to run one last patron sale. I want to keep a bunch of it for myself. Because that was one of the sets that kind of got last called and pulled off abruptly for my patrons and people. And a lot of people still ask me about it, but I've been trying to get more. Right now, I only have like 240 boxes for myself reserved, and I wanted to get to over 1,000. I wanted to get this last batch from this one distributor. And I find that very intriguing, because Adventures Forgotten Realm draft is actually not a bad product. Sure, I know clerics and life game decks and treasure tokens everywhere, and I know Mr. Gnawbone or whatever these, but I don't think it deserves. And it's funny, because I'm trying to reset my brain to the olden era of 2017, of when people were so negative and nobody wanted to buy anything. I didn't really want to focus on Call of Dash because of lottery cards, or BFZ and Oath because of lottery cards, but Ixalan and Rivals is a great example, where Ixalan and Rivals had a lower expected value and a lower acceptance rate than Adventures Forgotten Realm and Strixhaven. and had no lottery cards. It was supposed to, but they got pulled because people bashed them in the lottery cards, and I was one of those people, and that was a bad call on me. I effed that one up. That was a bad take. Rudy made a bad decision on there. And if Adventure's Forgotten Realm continues to dry up, we could see above average kind of a turning. Like, this is not going to continue. And I want to be in products that are within this range, especially on the left side of the ball that are already out of print. This is where I want to be. I want to be here because everything's useless. This has already been fire sold, and you can't get more of it. So when the supply can't be replenished, we know it's already sold off and panic done. This is the area I want to be in. This is we know the firework rockets and people, that's a shoo-in. We know Boulder's Gate is still trying to find its way. We know Kamigawa was a good set. Streets is too new. This is too new. Crimson and Hunt, still too new. It's not, it's going to be, but this is the area I want to be in. Okay? And time has a funny way of looking back on eras when everybody's facing the same direction and everybody feels the same negativity and nobody wants the product. And, the funny thing is, I looked at my patron data for the thousands and thousands of patrons. For the 10 months I carried Strixhaven in Adventure's Forgotten Realm for, I think it was $82 a box at the time, before the recent Wizards price increase, or the second price increase, whatever price increase. And I looked at the data. You know what the kicker is? Adventure's Forgotten Realm, I sold more draft boxes, Adventure's Forgotten Realm, than I did Kaldheim, and then I did Strixhaven. And yet it's supposedly the worst set ever, this and that. But the feedback of everybody who bought it, some people opened it, some people flipped singles, some people played it, some people kept it sealed. But the feedback was way more positive than the feedback of Strixhaven. Now, Kaldheim was very positive too, but AFR had really good positive feedback. And that, like I said, that's why I'm focusing on that era, because it's already out of print. It's kind of too late to make any drastic changes. I'm really trying to get this last batch. And I'm making this video because I feel like I said in the other video, everyone's given up. The days of believing in sealed product, the days of this, all the people, it's like it never happened. I've been on YouTube for 6.9 years, folks. The first set that was released that I sold to patrons for $79 was Eldritch Moon, followed by Return to Ravnica for $69, followed by Conspiracy 2 for $69, followed by Shadows over Innistrad for $79, followed by Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, Battle Bond, all for $80, $79. And I've been ridiculed for 6 years straight for pumping garbage and this stuff and everything. And almost 7 years later, we're still here. But the difference over these 7 years is right now, the negativity and the lack of credibility, belief, and consumer confidence is the lowest I've ever seen it in the 7 years I've been on YouTube. And that I'm talking lower and worse than the Ixalan Hour of Devastation era, when the hate and negativity built up. This is worse. Which is why, again, I don't want to use like a capitulation finance term for equities and stock market, but it's so bad and people are so negative. Like, I have to expand my positions. I have to buy as much as I can of this stuff because no one's doing it. And I don't want to be blunt because I'm not a licensed advisor. I'm a dude with an 80s pink visor. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. But in my head, I'm just sitting here going, I have to be the guy that goes all in and buys as much of all this stuff as I can because no one else is doing it. And one of two things are going to happen. It's all going to go to zero, and everyone's going to laugh at me, and there'll be Wikipedia articles and history about the YouTuber named Rudy who went all in as everything went to zero, and I went bankrupt. Or it's not going to go to zero, and the rocket keeps flying, and MH2 Man continues on his journey, and we all move forward, and guess what? The sun comes out tomorrow, and once again, 90% of everyone's wrong. The market's wrong, the fear is wrong, the emotion is wrong. And the sun comes up, we all move forward, and we all sit back and say, man, you guys remember that fucking era? No? Yeah, nobody else will. Because we're going to march forward, and it's going to be over with, and no one's going to remember this.